So earlier today I was out with my family. We went to a flea market, which can kind of be hit or miss, whether you find anything good or not. I was quite surprised though with this one. I found quite a few decent items, and the one I'm going to show you guys is this RETRON 3 from Hyperkin. I got it for 40 bucks, which I was looking online at the time just to see if, it was a half decent deal. And yeah, for 40 bucks, like, wicked deal, because I think the best I could find it online was 80 for something used as well. So yeah, for 40 bucks, I was pretty pumped. I mean, as long as it works. I haven't been able to check that out yet, but I figured I'd see if it works along with you guys. So it looks pretty good. It's a little dirty, but not too bad. It's just the original one, so it just has the AV out, no HDMI, but that's alright. And it did come with a couple controllers that are wireless with it, and then the AV and the little S video. So yeah, and obviously it's power cord as well. So yeah, we'll see how these controllers do. They seem to be, alright. I mean, for just a kind of knockoff controller. But even if they don't work that great, it does have the ports on the sides. It's got the NES controllers here, or your SNES controllers in the front, or Genesis on this side. So that's pretty sweet. And then yeah, you just kind of switch between each one: SNES, Genesis, NES, and so yeah, we'll hook it up, see if it works, see how well it works. I don't know. See how she goes. So I first just wanted to check out, see if these even had any batteries in them. And yeah, took off the little door here and just got some pretty good corrosion, so it's not really a good sign. Really gross, actually. Yeah. So hopefully these work. I don't know. Oh yeah. This one's pretty bad too. Yikes. Jeez. Well, doesn't mean that they're not going to work, but some new batteries in there. I'm not sure see if it works until we hook it up to the TV, so I guess we'll do that. So I was getting pretty worried. I couldn't get this freaking thing to turn on. It would, like, the cord that it came with didn't really make much sense. It just went to USB, and then it had this weird thing in the middle here to it's got an on-off switch for some reason. So that was kind of strange, and it wouldn't turn on at all. Like, these lights beside each one wouldn't come on. So I grabbed the cord from my NES and plugged it in there, and that one, at least, like, the light would turn on, there'd be some noise, but I was like, oh man, this thing is just done. Like, it's over. Paid 40 bucks for a piece of junk that doesn't even work. But I grabbed, I think, the one for my Sega, and that one works. So that was the only issue, is that it didn't want to work with these other cords. But now, yeah, turns on right there. And yeah, now that I got it working finally, I got her all loaded up with some games, and yeah, just turn it on. So I have one NES controller in here. I do that, and then with this one, no. Oh, weird. I guess these controllers that it comes with are assigned. Oh, that's funny. I was like, oh, they must be assigned controller 1 and 2, and then I'm looking at these controllers, and yeah, that has 1 dot there. This one has 2 dots. So, so yeah, this controller won't work for choosing, but this other one will. That's interesting. Good to know. Yeah, anyways, this just has no problems firing up the game right away. When I was, trying to figure out why this thing wasn't working, I, made sure that I had everything hooked up right on the TV using my NES, and yeah, I couldn't get this Blades of Steel game to actually fire up for quite a while, taking it out, blowing on the cartridge and everything, and yeah, but this, it seems like, yeah, first try, it has no issue starting the game right away, so that's pretty awesome. And then SNES, yeah, the controls are definitely kind of messing me up. Because right now I have jump, this one. Oh, you can't even see it because the controller has to be right in front of the the console for it to read your buttons. But anyways, A is jump, and then they have X as his bonk, his headbutt. That is just a weird mapping. You would think AB or something. You'd think AB, but it's AX. Just very strange. I mean, like, I guess, you can make it work, but... And switch it over to Genesis. That is definitely the one thing. It's kind of different using these, clearly Genesis-like controllers for the NES and SNES, which is, why they have the original controller ports for it, so you can, use your own controllers and everything. But if you just bought this game to be your, one and done retro console, and you're stuck with these controllers, then that kind of sucks. But you would figure it out over time, I'm sure. So not that big of a deal. It is, it is actually quite responsive, it seems. Not too much lag. So the one thing I noticed doing these games in here is that, like, it just, like, you really have to push down on them. The SNES one is probably the best feel. Like, it's not too bad. Coming out isn't too bad. The Genesis one is freaking ridiculous. Holy crap. Like, that is in there so tight. And then I think after getting worked in a little bit, the NES one doesn't seem that bad either. But the Genesis is crazy how tight that is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so there you have it. It seems to work good. I've tried a few games on each console, and yeah, it seems to work well. I'd say the one thing is that, yeah, just with especially with the Genesis, it is just a bugger to get these cartridges out. The NES and SNES are pretty good, but yeah, I mean, like, the main thing is that, for $40, everything works. Everything seems to work as intended, and yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna... Oh, that just came off. Nice. I wasn't sure if I was gonna, keep it for my own collection, but it is actually quite nice to have these, 3 systems all in one, and you can just switch by twisting the dial, and like, especially for my NES, like it's just, you know, slowly dying on me, and it just doesn't want to start up every time. But yeah, this seems to take care of that problem. It has no issue, you know, throwing a game, starts up right away. That's the main thing for me. And then yeah, obviously, you know, you can switch between each one seamlessly, and just have one thing hooked up, which is great. And then you can still have, you know, your old controllers that, you know, work for you. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with these controllers. I was a little bit worried with the amount of kind of corrosion that was built up on the batteries there, but, you know, didn't seem to affect it at all. The one thing is that, you know, it's a little off playing these NES and SNES games with these controllers, just because, you know, they're very clearly Sega Genesis controllers. But they do still work, and the one thing is that, you know, they obviously have to be in front of this. If it's not picking it up, then, you know, you're out of luck. As soon as you're right here, it doesn't pick it up. So you have to be right in front of it for it to read it. That would be, you know, the main drawback. For the most part, like, I'm happy with this buy. I'm very happy that I found it, especially at $40. Yeah, like I said, I found it, you know, online for, I think 80 was the cheapest, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.